Coming up on this week's DIZPod, what rides got it right with merch? We've got them all ranked right now on the DIZPod. Hello and welcome everyone to episode... Oh, I like to put myself on the spot. Are we talking episode 28?
Yes. 28.
Sounds like Tigger. T-I double gut. Awesome. Nice. Good to see you, my friend. I mean, I'm talking, when's the last time we even spoke? Was it when I gave you all a hug in the parking lot at Hollywood Studios?
Yeah, I think so.
Time flies.
Yeah,
so busy.
On last week's podcast, but that was all right in, because that was Wednesday was Jollywood Nights, and then Thursday was the podcast. So yeah, it's been a crazy week.
It's been a whirlwind. I was up late 2 nights ago, and then the alarm came quick yesterday morning, and it was right to work, right home, change up, Magic Kingdom, come home, hit the pillow, back up at 6:15 a.m., out the door. 12 hours later, I'm sitting here right now. Throw the shirt on. Here we are. So it's been quite a whirlwind for me as well. It came this week, just went by fast. I mean, Christmas is approaching. Isn't this crazy?
It's crazy. And we have, well, this isn't our Christmas episode, but we are a little decorated for Christmas. But we and my family really has been our tradition of doing Trans-Siberian Orchestra. So we did that last night. And that was, I mean, that's a good 2 hour and 20-minute show of just nonstop Christmas. Their catchphrases, fog it up, light it up, blow it up. And they do all of it. Lasers, lights, fire. It's crazy. So I'm going to put together a little video, and I'll show that on next week's show.
All right. Hey, do they go that intense with all of their songs? Because the clip that you showed me, I was like, man, wow. Like, I mean, you got guys on mini stages going up and down. They're just jamming the guitars and the violins. Like, are all their songs like that?
Almost all their songs are like that. And in fact, what I sent you is Sarajevo. The first time they do that song twice. It's actually the finale of the concert, and man, they probably rivaled Epcot last night in fireworks. It was crazy.
Holy crap. So is it outside?
No, it's inside.
Wow. Pyrotechnics indoors.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Now, don't they come to Universal? Is that the group that comes to Universal? Oh, no.
No, Mannheim
Steamroller.
Yeah.
I get those
not
two confused.
Seen them.
Okay.
I almost did one year, but no, I haven't seen them, but they're supposed to be pretty good too.
Welcome everyone in chat. So happy to see you all. We do it live because we do it for you. And Disney Dina says, yay, it's DIZPod day. I like that enthusiasm. I've been excited to get on all day. I just really have. It's been good. What's up, Samantha Carpin in chat? She says Trans-Siberian Orchestra puts on a phenomenal show. Yeah. That's a must see at some point. Gotta see that. So it's been really hard to figure out. I go through this stress and this pain every single year. Every single year I go through this. It's here. Like I feel like the Grinch or something. Like Tammy's very difficult to buy for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And she gave me the executive order again yesterday, day before. Do not buy me anything unless I pre-approve it. Like in a list. But I never get a list.
I was going to say, you need a list.
I'm going to buy her a Costco card for Christmas. That's what I'm going to do. That's an event.
All right.
All my friends have Costco cards. I do not have one. Do you have one?
We have BJ's. BJ's
Okay.
is closer to us, maybe
Okay.
15 minutes
I
away.
mean, we might need this. And then she goes back to the Hawaii trip. We
Mhm.
will, next time we go to Aulani, we will never buy our groceries at Costco. I mean, we all went there. We thought maybe, hey, we're gonna make breakfast every morning, except for
Right.
a couple mornings. And yeah, sure, we'll buy 3 big containers of syrup and a 7-pound box of pancake mix. Yeah. And I volunteered. I'm like, I'll cook that for everyone in the morning. I mean, we did that like once.
Once.
I've never wasted so much food in my life. We did manage to take back 2 of the syrup bottles, though, back to Florida. So we did salvage something. So it's trying to decide,
Yeah.
like Tammy shops like this, and I don't know if you all listening shop this way also. I don't know what Catherine does, but Tammy is not a coupon person.
Mhm.
But instead, she goes to like 5 different stores throughout the week because she knows what she wants at those stores, and those are the best prices. So that's what she does. So we're talking about Costco again last night, and she's resistant to it. And she's like, I'm not a bulk person. But if you buy bulk, don't you save overall? Like,
Normally, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, in fact,
So
I was doing laundry today, and the last, detergent that I bought was at BJ's, and so I'm picking it up to put it on the, um, washer to pour it in, realizing, "God, this is a lot of laundry detergent. Like, why do I need this much at one time?"
you need a forklift
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
put it in.
exactly.
Beep, beep. Lawrence, what's going on in there? Oh, backing up the forklift.
Just doing laundry, no problem.
Oh man. Uh, so that's my thing about Christmas. It stresses me out a little bit every year because I want to give to that girl. She deserves it. If outsiders, I think all of our LID fam that know us well enough know how it goes with her. But if I flat out tell you that I don't clean a single thing in the house, I don't do laundry, I don't do the food shopping, I don't do any of that. They'd be like, "What kind of husband is that?" Well, I'm a husband that the wife doesn't let me do all that stuff because she needs it done to her specifications. So
Mhm.
I've tried. It's not that I haven't tried. I try. She set the rules when we first got together. Outdoors is yours, indoors is mine.
Okay.
So I live by that rule. And that's how it goes in the LID household. So do you pitch in? Do you pitch in around the house? Do you do some things?
I
Or
do.
is that Catherine's thing?
No, I think we share it pretty well. I don't know if Catherine will agree. I think we share it pretty well. I do the outside mainly, um, and I do dishes for the most part, and I think we split it pretty well.
I
Yeah.
have a dish story. This happens almost every night. So she'll cook dinner and I go out there and I start running the water over my plate.
Mhm.
And a lot of times she lets me get to the point where I am starting to wash it and she'll go, "Oh, just leave it. I'll do it later." But sometimes if I just leave it in there and walk away, she's like, "Oh, it's one dish. Can you just do that dish for me, please?" I think she sets me up all the time. She sets me up for that. But she even makes me leave my plate usually there too. So anyway, the search goes on. So now I'm gonna look for some group gifts, something for her and I, she and I.
I
You
was gonna
know,
say you're running out of time there, sir.
yes, I am.
Now
Maybe after
I
this.
shouldn't really be talking because I don't have any gifts except for the gifts that Catherine's parents sent for Finley already. So those are the only gifts wrapped under the tree. So we'll get
What's Finley into these days?
there. What is she not into?
Oh, okay.
um, yeah, what is she into right now? Wish.
I know Wish is big right
Yep,
now
yep, yeah. She's
with her.
into Wish. That's
All
been
right.
pretty good.
Yeah. So yeah. All right.
I'm
So
reading some of these
that's where
other
we're at.
comments.
stay tuned. I'll keep y'all informed as to how Christmas goes. All the ladies love diamonds, fine jewelry, gift cards, or cash. See, it's easy for me. I just tell her, well, go to the store, but she doesn't follow through. She wants it, but she doesn't want to spend that much money. You want to know about, here's a pet peeve of mine at Christmas time. They're beautiful commercials. I kind of enjoy them because it's festive at the end with the fancy Lexuses and all that in the driveway with the snow falling, and the husband comes out and he surprises the wife with the beautiful new vehicle. She's all excited. And I'm like, girl, you're paying for that. You're paying for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're all excited. Like, you're scot-free. What's that?
All he did was put down the down payment.
Exactly. You're still paying for that.
And it's always the cars with the expensive maintenance. Audi, where only they can do the oil change, and BMW and all these, and Lexus. And I'm like, that's expensive maintenance right there.
Oh, it is.
Here, honey, here's some debt.
Yes. Oh, I'm so happy. Steve Bullock in chat said Corey, Tony had gotten her LID jacket today, and she's a very happy lady. Yay. Hey. Wear that with pride. Wear that with pride. I'm so happy. Merch to at least the Disney World YouTube community doesn't sell as much as you think it would.
Yeah.
And I know this, not just our channel, just throughout. It's a thing. And so we're always excited when somebody buys something. Thank you for that support. I put it out there because it's fun, and it just feels good when somebody buys something.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that for sure. So Christmas is 11 days away. So there we go. Which means we have a Christmas show coming up next week.
Sure do.
That'll be so much fun. I love Christmas. Maybe we should rank our favorite songs. Do some rankings.
Okay. I was thinking about that today, and I thought if we did that, we may have to break them up into almost genres, like the classics or a contemporary one. Because I don't know that you can put a classic up against a contemporary,
Yeah, I mean, usually the classics win out big time.
Right.
So for me, a little preview with that is like, unless I did some digging, I'm thinking in the last 20 years, like I am a very much classic person when it holiday traditions, when it comes to Christmas music. I'm really old fashioned there. And, I'm all about the Perry Como and the Andy Williams and Frank Sinatra and all that stuff. All I think about is all I want for Christmas is you with Mariah Carey. And I do like the Kelly Clarkson song.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And there might be one more. So, I mean, we could probably do that. Break it down to a couple.
Okay. Right.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, we have a couple good shows to end the year on. So it's going to be a good December here for sure. Don't forget, next week's show will not be on Thursday.
That is correct. We are going on Wednesday because Thursday is the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party.
Yes.
I'm doing that solo, but you'll all be with me. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And we'll have a lot of fun with that. We'll drink plenty of hot chocolate. I'll collect cookies. I'm going to collect cookies like it's Mickey's Very and Not So Scary Halloween Party. Collecting Snickers and chocolates and Skittles. We're just going to fill them up. Jacob's like, get me as many cookies as you can, Dad. So we'll collect cookies for sure. But we'll get it all done as we always do. We'll hit all the events. Can't guarantee any character meet and greets because it's just not our priority for the parties. You got to get all the other, I'm going to call them big ticket items. And we'll do that. I mean, yeah, it's fun to interact with the characters live. It actually is something we haven't done in quite a while. So I'll be more cognizant of that in the next few weeks on some Saturdays. Is if I see a character meet and greet wait time that's decent, meaning like 20 minutes or less, we'll have to dip in and catch a couple of characters. It's been a little while. So we'll see what we can do with that. I was satisfied. Go ahead.
I think that always feels like one of the toughest things to do at some of these parties is the characters. I mean, and I understand why. Like, they're the rare. You don't see a lot of these characters around, so everybody wants to go do it, and that's the only time that they're around. Um, but there's so many other things to do. So yeah, even my family, we hardly ever do character meet and greets.
Yeah, I mean, I was satisfied with Jiminy Cricket just throwing the camera on him for a minute. If we
Right.
can't take the time to meet them, at least do that.
Yep.
Although we didn't, when we walked by Jiminy Cricket, eyeballing that line to me looked like it could have been, a 15-minute wait. Not too bad
Right.
with Jiminy Cricket. So maybe thinking back on it, we would have, but it still would have taken time away from us. Like, I feel like our time was casual at Jollywood,
Yeah.
but to stop for any characters, we may have missed something.
Right. Right.
So, again, it's what people decide is important for them, I think.
Yeah, like even Snow White being there, when I saw her, I was like, okay, but I could meet her on a regular day at Epcot in Germany for, however long. So I don't know. That was the one I was like, I don't know why people would take their time to meet her, but maybe that's their only time there. You never know.
Okay. All right. Strange statement from Visible, who I've never seen before. Retiring from live streaming on Living in Diz. Grateful for the memories. Thanks for the joy, laughter, and community. Well, you're welcome. Not sure what that means completely. Like, you're like in general, or you're just done with Living in Diz. I don't know. Thanks for watching or listening as long as you did. We appreciate that.
And
For
we'll
sure.
be here if you decide to take up Living in Diz as a hobby in your retirement.
Yeah. So right now I am drinking Starbucks. People love this. This is it's not, I guess it's patented. It's not my patent though. It's Darth Vader. You put that little koozie right on your Starbucks drink. I wanted to mention the Starbucks drink because last night I talked about that on Main Street. Tammy's been after me for the longest time to download the Starbucks app. So I downloaded the Starbucks app, and it's half off Thursdays. So I finally took advantage of that, linked a card. And I did want to mention that there is a hack for Disney for Starbucks on Main Street.
Oh.
And for that matter, probably the hack works for the Starbucks on Hollywood Boulevard as well. And you don't need it for Disney Springs. They're owned differently.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They're owned differently. So,
Okay.
so the hack is, if you want to use your app and get stars. So on the Starbucks app, they reward you stars.
Right.
So if you link a card, 1 star equals $1. If you preload in the app, you get double. So you get 2 stars per dollar.
Okay.
And then you get so many stars, then you get to cash them in for food, drinks. Everything has a value. Tells you that. So that's the hack. So when you're at Main Street, you cannot earn stars if you just link a card. You have to preload. So if anybody's interested in that, preload and you can gain your stars. And we're thinking we're going to start to earn some free stuff because that's where we buy Starbucks every week.
Right.
So looking forward to that. See how quickly we can build those up for sure.
I didn't know that. I have the app and I never think about the stars when I'm at Starbucks on Main Street.
Yeah. Now Visible says, thought Living in Diz retired from live streaming. Got us there. Excited to see what's next. Cheers to the unexpected. Visible, we are committed. Lawrence and I are committed to 500 podcasts.
Yep.
And that's it. 500 we're done. No, I don't know. We'll see. Living in Diz isn't going anywhere. They are continuing to grow and have many new aspects. It's the best streaming going by far. We love you so much, Anne, for all your love and support. You know that. And Anne is amazing. one of our many great members. And yeah, we're putting it all out there now. We're nonstop. And I'm not looking for the challenge, but I'm just thinking, and when I mention this, they're just what I think are facts.
Mhm.
Who is doing more than we're doing on this channel right now? We're doing everything possible we can to grow this channel. Again, I think we're in the most difficult time slot, if you will, when we
Sure.
live stream.
Yep.
Prime time nights for 3 hours or whatever. We do almost a complete day and night on Saturdays. So we can't be out there as much as others. But the content, I mean, there's weekly vlogs now when we can put them out. There's shorts multiple times a week, multiple live streams, and a podcast. I don't think anyone's doing this in the community
No.
and to the level we're doing it. And we're proud of that. And we'll only get better. 86JB, blast the chat for 86JB for that $4.99 super chat. Says podcast fund. I appreciate that so much, 86, because right now, for now, it's all about the long term, but
Mhm.
in a way, we lose money when we do the podcast. We're definitely paying out, a little chunk of change
Yeah.
to do the podcast, to pay for the software and Streamlabs and all that. Yeah, living in Diz has got to pay that bill every month. But I love
Super
There we-
chat.
there it is, the new super chat sound. I love it. It's amazing. But anyway, so Starbucks, there's the hack. Definitely use it. Let us know in the comment if you already knew that hack or you're excited about it and you're going to try it. And if you need help with it, just listen back. It was pretty simple, but I am always happy to help in the comments. Lawrence can help you as well. And that is our hack.
I will definitely be trying that the next time I'm there. I always, like I said, I don't even think about it because I assume you can't do anything with that. But yeah, you can collect some stars for sure.
I'm going to give credit where credit's due as well. That actually came from Tammy telling me from the well-known Woodersons as part of the LID club. That's how the
Oh.
Woodersons do it. So she
Nice.
learned that from them and passed it on to me, and I'm passing it all on to you all and hope you use it
There you go.
for sure. So yeah, very good. Anything else up before we head to the top topic tonight?
No, I'm excited to talk about this. We alluded to this a long time ago, probably episode 2, I think it was, talking about merch from the rides. And it's funny, it really, that whole exit the ride, enter the gift shop, that was a Disney thing. Nobody else was doing that, and he perfected it. And it, from a business standpoint,
It's genius.
it's genius.
It's genius.
Put you
It's
right
so
there.
genius.
Here you go. You want to remember your time? Here you go. Or even the ride photos, where you can see you can see your picture from the ride, and you had to buy it individually, and you get it in the frame, and it's $40 now. We don't do that often, but we've done it once.
Yeah, yeah. It's genius. I wouldn't have thought of it. I don't think I would have thought of that. Like, let's sell merch right there. I mean, you think of the placement of it and the mental aspect of the guests.
Yeah.
You've just come off this ride. You love the ride. You had a great time. You're on the highest of highs you'll be for that ride for the entire day. And then whoosh, merch is in your face. So with that said, it also works conversely with Disney. And you wonder why this doesn't happen in each and every attraction.
Mhm.
So I guess we'll dive deeper into that question as we go along. So this is kind of my baby today,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Lawrence, I give Lawrence for a lot of credit for putting a lot of the material together. And funny thing, like, you shocked me last night when I came up with I said, let's move this one forward. And you were like, okay, that's on you because I don't really look at the merch when I leave the rides. What are you talking about? I needed to ask you about that.
Yeah. So to the same degree as you, I mean, as you're going through it always, I think it was one of the very first live streams. It might have been the second that I saw. You're at Epcot at a port of entry, and you're like, "Oh, look, this shirt is new. Oh, this one's been here a while." I was like, "How does he know the shirts that have been here?" And so, yeah, being that you know it much better than I do,
Okay.
I would certainly let you take the lead on this one.
It is a testament to my ability. I am visual. I'm very visual.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm, and I think it coincides in your brain. Like I'm really bad with names, but if I see somebody once or twice, I'll always remember that face.
Mm.
And, right now, like if you were like, what did you see in, the Haunted Mansion in Memento Mori, which if people don't know, that's the name of the gift shop uh, building near Haunted Mansion. I could kind of close my eyes and walk my way around from last
Hmm.
night. So I'm visual like that. So
Interesting.
so I think that's part of it. I pretty much know for sure when I'm in there and something's new. I'll be like, I've never seen that before. And then I kind of joke a little bit where I say, because maybe I missed up on something and hadn't, maybe it's been out a few weeks and I really just didn't notice it.
Hmm.
I'll say, well, it's new because I haven't seen it. That's how I cover my butt on the live streams.
Yeah.
Joshua Betts, welcome in to the live podcast. Share it out. Let your friends know. Like it. If you're just stumbling upon this podcast for the first time and you don't even know what else we do, please say so in the chat. Be honest. Yeah, we really would like to know those kind of demographics, like who's discovering us through the podcast only, who knows us through the Living in Diz live channel, in the parks, shorts. We're putting out every piece of content that uh, YouTube allows us to.
Yeah.
And so it'll be nice to see new faces and wonder where they're coming from for sure. So let's get to this. So, I should get better lighting in here for when I do need to look at notes. But I threw this together and it took a little time and I think there's plenty to talk about here. So I did a top 10. I did no science behind this one.
Oh, okay.
No, this is non-scientific right here.
All right.
So
Go
my
on, what
number
you got?
10. All right. So my number 10 is Rock and Roller Coaster.
Okay.
I think the theming in there is perfect. And you come out and you certainly have your t-shirts. Not only do you have like your t-shirts that have Rock and Roller Coaster on them or Aerosmith, I think a lot of that stuff is designed to look like you bought it in a concert or at a concert.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think that type of theming is really good. Disney really hit that well with that. And I know you can buy things like drumsticks, which, is a really cool, unique kind of souvenir from there. And there's your lounge flies and things like that. So I think they do a pretty good job with their
I think
merch.
the lounge fly is the one that sticks out to me when I think about that gift shop, because I don't know of another big ride like that that has a lounge fly in the gift shop. Most of the time I'm seeing lounge flies, they're in the bigger shops, Emporium and Connection or Creations. See, I did
Wow.
it now. Now I'm saying it backwards.
I'll forever have trouble with that. Yeah. There's so many different things in my head that will never register. They will never register. You know what I mean? I could tell you all the bones and names of the
Uh-huh.
pieces on the bones
Uh-huh.
and all the muscles in the body, but I cannot get, or I used to be. I had a hard time with blood flow and how it blows blows through the heart. But I did have to go back for my national certification for massage during COVID, so I had to really relearn that. So I think I'm better on it now. But there's
Mm.
just things that don't, like pronation, supination for the feet. I always have to look that up. I've only been doing this for 30 years, but there's just some things that just never stick, and I will never quickly off the top of the head say connections and creations. I
Yeah.
always forget creations. And I use the teaching method for myself. There's a name for this. Maybe chat will know. where to learn and remember this, or at least remember Connections. I don't forget Connections anymore because the name is Connections. And I just say, well, that's where you eat, right? Well, my mouth is connected to my stomach.
All right.
So I remember it.
Yeah.
So we got to come up with one for creations. Lots of merch created. I don't know.
Created.
Whatever
Yeah.
works for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good point. I never thought of that. That there are not many Loungeflies in other
Yeah.
other exit stores. That's crazy. Now I'm going to be on the lookout. Not to prove you wrong, but
No, I thought when I said that, I was like, well, maybe he'll think of a few, but it's interesting, right? I mean, you don't see that, and I don't know that you can find that Loungefly anywhere else. I've only
I'm
seen
going to
it
say
there.
that you can't.
Okay.
I think that is sold exclusively at Rock and Roller Coaster, and it's a
Yeah.
really cool one.
Yeah.
It's the one where it's all black, right? And it's like embossed or the opposite of embossed
Mm-hmm.
with the symbols and things like that. Even Jacob was like, "Wow, I really like this one. This one's really
Yeah.
cool." When
Yeah.
we saw it, you know what though? I could be crazy, but I think that we have seen that in, I don't even know the name of that shop, the shop on Sunset Boulevard, where they have a nice Loungefly wall in there.
Okay. All right.
I'll have to ask him if I remember. Yeah. So that's number 10. So number 9 is Space Mountain / Tron. I think that deserves a number 9 because it's big and there's a lot
That's a
of
big
merch in
store.
there. And
That's big.
Tron really did overhaul that store.
Yes.
But I do like the Space Mountain merch, you know? I think it's good. And there's just so much there, and they tried to do something similar to what they did in Flight of Passage, where you can kind of make your own action figure.
Right. Yep.
And there's just a lot of stuff in there. Lots to choose from if you're a Tron fan. That store is happening for sure.
Do you like the remodel of it?
No.
No? Okay.
No, because it goes along the lines of Disney trying to change everything to the contemporary kind of look.
Mhm.
Don't you think that? Am I missing something with, isn't there really no theming in there, or have I missed that?
Well, so I think what they tried to do is make it more of Tomorrowland. So I think when Tron starts to slow down and that starts to just become a normal ride, excuse me, I think you'll find more of the Tomorrowland merch creep back in, because right now that store is very Tron heavy. But I think as Tron
Super.
slows down, you'll find more Space Mountain, you'll find more, I don't know, Tomorrowland Speedway maybe, you know.
Well, that's something that I wanted to talk about anyway. Might as well mention it now, build on that. And it is the fact that some of these other attractions really don't have any merch or much for merch, right? I would
Yeah.
love there to be a little section. There should be a Tomorrowland store. I
Right.
mean, that store is big enough. They probably
Mhm.
don't need to have that much Tron merchandise. So like you said, maybe keep it the way it is for now, monitor sales and just get rid of things that aren't really selling. And let's see some more Carousel of Progress merch.
Yeah.
Like really, I would love to see that. I'd love to see, I do have a People Mover shirt, but it'd be cool to have more People Mover stuff. So there's
People
room.
Mover. That's that store, which is, what is it called now? Tomorrowland Launch Depot, I think.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I don't even know
Yeah,
what
I think
they
that's the
renamed it.
name. But that's a store that makes sense to have now, and it is tucked kind of back there as you're coming out of Space Mountain. But that store could have a small section of People Mover, Carousel of Progress. I could not see them not selling a shirt for Carousel of Progress. It's gonna sell, right? People Mover, little quotes on a shirt from the ride. Yeah, I think that they would sell.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. I'd be there. I don't think there's a single stitch. I will welcome my guy, Neil, into the chat, taking a break from blowing that trumpet, probably. He's working hard. Uh, I don't think there's a single stitch of merch at all. Not one single thing for Carousel of Progress right now. And that's what I'm talking about, lost opportunities, right? You're
Absolutely.
losing money. There's no physical spot connected to Carousel of Progress, so you definitely need an
Right.
alternative place to sell that stuff. So
Right.
right over there would be perfect. You know, there's there and Star Traders. I mean, if they don't want to mix kind of the futuristic rides with what's going on in Tron and Space Mountain, then it's a perfect spot for Star Traders. I mean, Star Traders is very random.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty random. It's, you know, a multiple bunch of mini ears in there, plushies, shirts. So, perfect spot. You know, where is that Carousel of Progress stuff? Where's the Tomorrowland stuff? Where's the Tomorrowland Speedway stuff? I mean, that's cool stuff.
Yeah.
That's so rare, it doesn't exist. I mean, for me, I'm always looking to buy different Disney T-shirts. If I see a really cool Tomorrowland Speedway shirt, I'd buy it. So,
I think they could even do a larger kiosk like they have for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. You know, that doesn't have
oh,
an
yes.
indoor store, but it's right as soon as you come out of the ride, you could put a kiosk, and there's room out there in near Carousel Progress, or even People Mover, maybe not right there because you got there's too many. I think there's too much going on there trying to get up to Astro Orbiter, the line for People Mover, but they have room back there to do something.
Yeah, for sure. All right, number 9 is Frozen Ever After. I'm sorry, not number 9. Number 8 is Frozen Ever After.
Yeah.
So, to be honest, I don't think I've ever bought a piece of Frozen merch, but I like what they do there. They have a whole section to the right of, and I don't spend a lot of time over there.
Hmm.
It's a lot of princess dresses and whatever else. I mean, you probably do, so you could probably tell me more of what's in that area. So I'm just realizing this now. I mean, I've probably gone over there once, and actually, the one time I did, this stream lagged really hard. So,
Oh,
but if you go to the left, I like what they did because that's combined with the Norway store.
right. Exactly.
And the Norway store, they have great stuff, great themed everything. Kitchen items, cups, mugs, jackets. I love those white jackets. And
I think
I
I know
would
what
buy
you're
one.
talking about.
Yes. I've loved that jacket for years, but I mean, if I bought it, I'd have to know, well, you're going to wear that, 3, 4, 5 times if you're lucky in
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah.
If I was on vacation, I lived up north, I would definitely buy that. So
Yeah, the Norway
that's my
merch is,
spiel.
or the Frozen Ever After merch is really, really cool. And it's like you said, it's a cool store. Um, you have the big not gnome. What of the troll? Big
What?
troll there. There's a big troll
What
there. You can take
Oh,
a
with a big
picture.
nose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
Um,
cool. He's a photo opportunity right there.
yeah. So it's a cool store coming out of the ride. Plus
I enjoy that store.
I'm always more concerned with how wet I got on the ride to be worried about the merch, but yeah.
Well, if it's hashtag wet butt, for sure. The worst part about getting wet on a ride is before you even take off, as soon as your cheeks hit the seat and you're wet,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, come on. Come on.
Yeah.
Getting the front wet is a lot better than getting the butt wet, for sure. So, and it's funny. I'm strategic in everything I do, and You can almost tell if I'm going to go on a water ride if I'm wearing darker shorts.
Mm,
If there's a chance I'm not doing a wet ride, I'll go with the gray shorts.
okay.
Because, and isn't it funny? A wet water across your butt in the park walking by, nobody will ever judge you.
Nope. Nope.
You walk to the supermarket like that, everybody's looking.
Yeah.
Where-
And if you're in Epcot, they know where you were, right? If you're in Magic, they know where you were. If you're in Animal Kingdom, they know where you were. If you have wet butt in Hollywood, they might ask some questions.
Mm,
Just saying. Actually, they might
Right.
not ask. They might just talk about you behind your back.
Allison in chat says, okay, I have something I'd love for merch. And I know they did have merch for it a long time ago.
Oh.
Happily Ever After. Yes. That's an outstanding call, Allison. Why? Why isn't there not? And they did. They had a t-shirt, and I wish I would have bought it. Happily Ever After needs some stuff. For sure. Totally agree.
And they have it for, I have a Harmonious Spirit jersey. I now have a
Yeah.
Luminous hoodie. So why not do, the others? Is there fantastic?
And they know it's, what's that?
Is there Phantasmic merch?
There is, but they've dropped the ball on that. I
Okay.
think they could do way more with that merch. There's a cart up there.
Yeah.
There's one shirt that's decent that matches the Magic Band. It's black and it has the Maleficent Dragon
Okay.
on it with maybe some orange and yellow behind it. And the funny thing is, I probably would have owned that shirt by now, but every night we get up there, they don't have large. Ever. Ever. I mean, you think Disney overall would just order more large t-shirts across the board. So,
I agree.
yeah. So number 7 we're on to now. Figment. I am not a huge Figment fan, but I had to put that there because they just do such a great job for all the Figment fans.
Yeah.
You walk out of that ride and there's Figment pictures, paintings, plushies, water bottles, mugs, pens, different kinds of plushies, pop figures, hoodies. They do really well with that store. Disney got it right with that store right there.
Yeah, it just gives you a great feeling. And that is mostly Figment there. There is a small section, I guess, for the DVC, since the DVC lounge is there. So there's a small section for that. But the majority of that store is Figment, and people love Figment. So it's awesome to see that they did that.
Yeah. Neil says they had HEA when it was new. Got to bring it back. I think it's one of the most popular shows ever at Magic Kingdom. It's probably the most popular show ever at Magic Kingdom. So again, Disney dropping the ball there on that, losing a little bit of money in that realm. They had Phantasmic merch a long time ago too, says Neil. It's up there, but it's very limited for sure. Maybe if I have time to stop and show everybody when we're up there, sometime we'll show you all. Maybe when we exit, as opposed to going in the theater, something like that. Number 6. Oh, and I do like that's nice placement for the DVC merch because the lounge is right there. The stairs are right there. So that's a good spot. That's a good spot for that. And I always show it. I never buy it because I'm a believer if you haven't done it, you shouldn't wear it.
Agreed.
I mean, we've done DVC, but we don't own DVC, so I don't feel like we should wear it.
We used to do that when we go to the zoo or the aquarium. We like to get a magnet, and if it wasn't, if the magnet was based on an attraction or an animal or whatever that we didn't see, we won't buy that as the magnet.
Mm-hmm. Josh R says, grew up with Figment. Therefore, he was my first character I became obsessed with, more so than Mickey and Minnie.
Wow.
That's pretty awesome. I mean, Figment has a big following. So have the Figment meet and greet photos kind of dropped off the face of the earth on social media? because I haven't noticed any in a while. I'm sure they're still doing it, of course.
Trying to think of how long it was when we were there in October. We waited to see him. Maybe it was 25 minutes. And people are still excited for it. So I think it's just, not the 5-hour wait that it was the first day. So it looks like it calmed down.
Neil says the line is still huge.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
what are we up to now? We're up to number 6. Number 6. And when I say this one, you might be like, wow, what's the top 5? Guardians of the Galaxy. That's another
Okay.
one that I think they hit just right. There is tons of merch in there, tons of great merch in there.
Yeah.
You're talking toys and helmets and clothing and magnets and pretty much anything you'd probably want to see or have the opportunity to buy. They did a really good job with the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff.
Yeah. And again, I think it's also the atmosphere. It's not just a store with merch. You've got that AI greeter there. So it just gives you that same feel as you had on the ride or in the pre-show. So I think when they do stuff like that, it's really cool.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, hey, let that be an example, right? Maybe we need a little more theming
Yeah.
in these gift shops just to make it a cooler experience.
Yep.
Or maybe it draws more people in. I don't know. And that's one that is a little surprising though, where I don't know structurally if they were able to do it, but people can't really exit through the gift shop there. You have to consciously make a decision to
Right.
go inside because you actually leave the building.
It's funny you say that because as I was talking about it, I thought of that ride. You don't exit the ride and go immediately into the gift shop, but yet it's still pretty full. Now, again, Guardians is still pretty new, so maybe that's part of it, but you still have a good amount of people in that store almost all the time. So maybe you don't necessarily need to direct people into the store in order for them to buy merch.
And that is the first one of the rankings we've done that doesn't do the exit through the gift shop because all the others do.
Yeah.
Sometimes though, I feel like there's an option in Frozen to take that side door to the left. I don't know if you ever noticed it, but there is a side door there. Earlier, Ann Gilnack says she was loving our shirts. Every podcast we wear different button-down shirts, and I decided to go with this is so silky soft as well. And got the Haunted Mansion wallpaper.
Yes.
And I'll talk about my little Haunted Mansion adventure last night on Inside the Parks. Steve Bullock in chat says something that I always talk about,
Yeah.
and he speaks the truth. Disney has a lot of nice kids' t-shirts, but I wish they would include them in adult sizes more often than not. Listen, we could rank 3 things right now. You can rank how well in general Disney does adult t-shirts, how well they do child t-shirts, how well they do pass holder t-shirts for an event, and regular guest for events. And I feel like the things that we want the most, they would need to be flip-flopped. A lot of times the kids have the better t-shirts, the better artwork.
Yeah.
And it's the same for a lot of times I'll go to a festival of the arts, festival of the holidays, food and wine, flower and garden. A lot of times I want to buy the pass holder t-shirt. It's like the DVC thing, you don't buy DVC or a Disney Cruise Line piece of merch if you've not done it.
Right.
But I'm a pass holder. Some people want to kind of show their pass holders in the park, wear it with pride. So a lot of times though, I bypass that and I end up getting the normal t-shirt for regular guests over the pass holder one because it's just not as good.
Yeah.
And I would love to talk to the powers that be that control this stuff, because it would just be a serious question. Like, why does this happen? Is there a lot of thought behind this? Because I would think the consensus is usually that pass holder isn't as good. I'd like to hear Neil's perspective in chat on that one, if he has one. I'm really curious about that. I've been very curious about that.
I am too. That and then the kids versus the adults. Like, I don't know. Is there a reasoning behind that? Do most adults not like a heavily themed shirt? I don't know. Are we the only two guys that wear Disney button-down shirts?
I mean,
there's got to be
we
something
started a
behind
thing.
that.
What's that?
Like, we started a thing. Yeah, you're right.
We started a thing kind of unintentionally, I guess. It was like, hey, let's wear some button downs.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, I'm running out. Let me get some more button downs. And it's awesome. Now we have a wardrobe department, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, we get. I mean, did wardrobe pick up the materials to start making, you know, a shirt a month?
I think that is. I think the supplies have been received. Yes.
I'm excited because if I'm right, I'm not even gonna know what's being made. It's just gonna be like, here's your next shirt.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Let's do that. Like, I'll get a gift in the mail every 30 days. Be like, ooh, what is it? What am I gonna wear? It would be fun to not know until minutes before we go on. Wouldn't that be fun for you and me? Yeah.
Well, every other month you'll get one in the mail, because then hopefully every other month, the opposite month, we'll be delivering them. So hopefully
The fabric has not shipped yet,
all right.
according to wardrobe. So it's okay. We can be patient.
Mm-hmm.
We will sit patient. I was thinking you'd pick out some too. I would love to. All right, we'll do that together. How about that? So Neil is very in love with Disney, and he has no complaints. He just wants us to know that.
Neil has no complaints. All right. Somebody mark that down.
Oh, he does. We all know how much Neil loves Disney and the Wookiee cookie.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He could do a
Number
whole
5
on the cookie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're gonna do a Wookiee cookie show sometime. Maybe. Let's hit up our sponsors quick, and when we come back, we'll do the top 5. Looking for a home that offers the perfect blend of luxury, comfort, and convenience with Disney World in your backyard? Victor Naraki is a licensed realtor with Vision Home Real Estate LLC. He is here to help you find the home of your dreams. With over 13 years of experience in the vacation home market and a proven track record of success, Victor is the perfect partner to guide you through every step of the home buying process. So why wait? Visit DisneyAtYourDoorstep.com today to learn more about Victor's exclusive range of properties and schedule a viewing with him today. Your dream home is just a click away. If you're planning your next Disney vacation, consider booking with Your Magical Adventures Await. Claudia is a Disney travel agent who can create a magical adventure to any Disney park worldwide, including Walt Disney World in Florida, Disney Cruise Lines, Aulani Resort in Hawaii, and guided group vacations with Adventures by Disney. She can also plan Universal Studios trips. The best part? If you book with her, her services are free. Disney pays her to help you create a seamless, magical adventure. Her availability is unmatched, and you can contact her Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Make your magical planner Claudia Indridson today from Your Magical Adventures Await by calling her at 956-455-8049. You can also follow her on Instagram, all one word. Winter is not too far away, and you'll soon be needing to bundle up. We'll get rid of that one there. That is no longer a partnership.
Gotcha.
I forgot that was in there. In that one, it's out of the parks one, but I think that went out. As a matter of fact, that sponsor is going back to see what they can do to add some Disney theming to their hats.
Okay.
And they're supposed to get back to us, so we'll see what happens there. That would be pretty cool.
Gotcha.
For sure. Yeah. All right. So number 5, as part of our what Disney did right, is this. Number 5 is Tower of Terror. Tower of Terror has done a great job as well. And I some Tower of Terror merch that I have is I have a T-shirt, a really cool one with Mickey on the side, and he's dressed as a bellman. Is he dressed
Mm.
as a bellman or is he running with suitcases? Something like that with a nice Twilight Zone themed font. Really cool. And I even have the bellman hat, which I love. And so plenty of merch in there. I don't even call that maroon and black and gold.
Yeah.
Lots of cool stuff in there, mugs, all the stuff you'd want to see. That's where they also incorporate Nightmare Before Christmas items,
Oh.
which is fine with me
Oh,
because
yes, yes.
you know it's along the scary theme, and where else are you gonna put that?
Right.
So at least you know they get their due. They get a little section there, and the store is big enough to where you know you got to fill it with something. So why
Mhm.
not fill it with? That's a good choice. I mean, they could have just thrown like random mini ears and lounge flies and things. So glad
Yeah.
they didn't do that. And if you go to the corner, the far, like if you're trying to exit, you go to the far left corner, take some time over there. Maybe I'll do that with the stream next time we're exiting that. There's a lot of cool artwork over there.
Oh.
Figurines, prints, and paintings. So worth, excuse me, worth a stop and taking a look and see what they have over there. So a little bit of a unique shop. They do a really good job.
Yeah.
So Mrs. Living in Diz is in the chat. She's waving to everybody. So Tammy gets it done. Okay. So this is why this is not your grandfather's podcast. We don't just do the news and stick right to it and then we're done. No, we talk about stuff. So right now she's currently back at Best Buy. She was at Best Buy yesterday, dropped a chunk of money because for Christmas, Jacob wants to update his computer. And so they came back home and the poor boy started to work on it. And it was like a whole computer overhaul. And I wasn't home to help. So he did really well on his own. And then he came to a dead stop and he couldn't fit one of the new wires in for the power supply.
Mm.
So I called Best Buy and the Geek Squad was like, no, it came with all the wires. One of those has to work. And I'm texting with him and he's like, no, Dad, I tried. I'm like, you just might not be putting it in just right. Tammy came home and put it right in. So then he almost got it all together. But tonight when I came home, I discovered that it needs a certain fan that won't fit in there because it's a bigger computer. So
Mhm.
it overheats fast. So
Mm.
she went back on 2 wheels, and that's where she is now. And she demanded that they not only make her an appointment at last minute, but they put the fan in at no charge. That's my girl taking charge
Get
because
it done.
they owe her. It's an hour drive. They should have included the CPU cooler. Look at her getting all technical now in chat. The CPU cooler. Excuse me.
Do you guys have
Tammy's gonna
a micro center down there?
a micro center. What's that?
Oh man. So Micro Center used to be my favorite store when I was up in New York. We had one
Okay, I've never heard of
in,
those.
in Garden City. They have one that's coming to Charlotte, so not terribly close to me, but it's basically like the size of a Best Buy, but only computer peripheral equipment and they do sell computers. You could just buy a computer, but my brother Nick and I used to go there all the time, and we built my entire computer. Not this one. This was decades ago. Um, from just buying stuff from there. Yeah, everything you could need they had.
Tammy says, "How's that Starbucks?" Tammy, you'll have to watch back. I talked all about it. I talked about the Disney World hack that we learned from the Woodersons. It's
Mhm.
really good. So from now on, if I can get to Starbucks on the Thursday DIZPods, I will be drinking. And by the way, this is the LID special,
Ah,
which is the
there you go.
iced chai tea latte with vanilla cold foam. I'm such a sophisticated Starbucks customer now. Remember when I had
With
to
your
learn
Star
how to
Wars,
actually say
with your
the
Star Wars
order?
koozie.
Yes, with the Star Wars koozie. No one's rocking it like that. It's only the month of December. What's only the month of December? So Tower of Terror was number 5. Number 4 is Flight of Passage. That's a beautiful store. And if you want to talk theming, there's a little bit of theming there. I mean, there's a tree, right? And it kind of spreads out a little bit.
Right.
You kind of still feel like you're in Pandora in there, I feel like.
Exactly.
And they really get into the theming of it because you can buy, that's right, it's half off. By the way, Starbucks is half off between 12 and 6, which Jen W told me in chat last night, but Tammy never told me that. Now she'll jump in chat and tell me that she has. I just haven't listened, which is probably true too. So Flight of Passage, they do a great job. There's really cool themed backpacks. They have an area where you can get stones and make a necklace. You can buy the banshees. There's different colored banshees that you can buy to sit on your shoulder. And they have a little hose and a pump that you can squeeze it, I think, and they move. Something animates them like that. It's been a while since I remember buying the kids those. They still have theirs. And if anybody's not familiar with, Tammy said, I'm sure you just didn't listen. So they have Neytiri in there, who is the female Na'vi from Pandora. Beautiful bust of her. Have you seen it? Of course you've seen it, right?
I don't know.
That's right, because you don't look at merch.
I don't look at merch. I'm going to the next thing.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It's amazing. I mean, that thing could be movie screen used. It's so accurate. There's no question.
You know, I just realized why I don't look at merch. Because I have
Catherine won't make you buy it?
No, because Finley won't make us buy it. Because I have a 4-year-old.
Go.
Don't beeline it right out of the store. They'll want to buy everything. Toy Story, that store is the worst. Toy Story Mania, that's the worst store.
All right, so you know which ones to rush out of more than others. Good strategy. So they do a fantastic job over there for that. If you're really looking for, if you're a big fan of Avatar or of the rides, that's where you want to be, and you'll probably leave there buying some really cool items. So that sits at number 4 from me. Number 3 is 86JB's possibly favorite in chat, and that is Everest.
Yeah.
And I fought about putting that higher just because I feel like every time we go in there, there's brand new stuff. Like there's new theming in there all the time. Not that we go to Animal Kingdom that much. So maybe we go to Animal Kingdom every 8 weeks or something. But it seems like about, and no other merch rotates like Everest, I feel like.
Yeah, I wonder why that is.
That's a good question. I mean, it's total overhaul. Yeah. When we were in there last, I think there was 3 separate types of theming in there. All separate stuff. All Everest, all different things. I want to buy it all usually. I love that Everest merch a lot.
Yeah.
And they've got everything. Ooh, I think they had some lounge flies in there. Yes.
I think so. Yep.
Yes. So that's one that does.
Yeti one.
Neil says the Yeti eats all the stuff. That's why. That's a good one. Neil's on his game tonight. So yeah, that's good stuff there. And that's why that sits at number 3. And the ride is great. It always helps if you love the ride, and then to have the merch there, I would think scientifically that would bump things up a little bit. Number 2 is Star Tours. Being a big Star Wars fan,
yeah,
there's always newer stuff to the right. Right now, they're rocking the Bantha Burgers merch over there right now. They've gone a little crazy lately with some of the artwork. Not the greatest stuff, but I did buy into the Bantha Burger stuff. Really funny, really unique.
Yes. Yeah.
With the Happy Meal style McDonald's stuff and all that. Did a great job with that. So there's always some great Star Wars merch in there to see, and I enjoy that spot as well.
And look at the size of that store compared to the merch that you can buy for Rise. You know, you come out of Rise, and what do you have? 2, maybe 3 kiosks. That's about it.
Right? Now, all right, let's talk about that. There's nothing, and I know that they're probably trying to stay themed within the theme, but there's nothing you can buy that says like Rise of the Resistance,
Right.
you know, or some slogans from the ride, or maybe you see a picture of Kylo Ren at the end, something
Mhm.
like scenes
Mhm.
from the movie. There's nothing specifically for Rise of the Resistance. So if they want to
Yeah.
stick with that theming, then maybe put it in Star Tours.
Right. Right.
I think that's a pretty good idea if they're trying to stay on theme.
Yep.
LID merch is the most valuable in our homes, says Spencer. Thank you, Spencer. I love that. I didn't know Spencer owned LID merch. The Rise merch is more toys and clothes that aren't
Yeah.
that great, says Susie Q. Yeah, I agree. On my birthday stream, though, I did buy an X-Wing fighter helmet.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, it's in the entertainment room. I definitely enjoy looking at that. Now and then, though, if you go over there and you pay attention, you can find some pretty cool clothing over there, but they could do better.
Yeah.
They could
I
do
agree.
better with that part. But we're talking about Star Tours that sat at number 2. You know what? I'm going to change that live. I'm just going to flip it. I think I love Everest so much. I think it kind of outdoes a lot of the Star Wars merch there. So let's put
Okay.
Everest at number 2.
All right.
That's the science part. I think it has to out. It's bigger than me.
Yeah. I hear you.
Number 1, here it is. I clued you all in a little bit. It is Haunted Mansion. It is Haunted Mansion. Love that ride so much. It's my favorite Disney World ride of all time. And this is another one that is not connected
Nope.
to the building.
Nope. Not at all. Not at all. And that's a ride that's been around, you know, longer than 5 years. And you would think with it being an original that it would have been set that way, but for some reason they didn't. I don't know.
They could have constructed it that way, I think. I think there's room on the side there where you would exit and you'd have to come out, you know, from through a gift shop. But
If
kind of nice
anyone's
that
been to the one in Disneyland, is the one in Disneyland connected? And
be a good
let us know.
question.
Yeah. I wonder if it's because obviously it's a totally different looking building. So I just wonder if it's done differently. So if you've been there, let us know.
Yeah, that's an interesting question there. So it looks like Steve Bullock has dropped a LID gift membership, and that was picked up here by, I got to go back here. Becky Musselwhite, congratulations.
Hey.
That gets your name in the credits at the end of future live streams, and you get to play with all the wonderful emojis. Enjoy 30 days of that wonderful LID club membership, and we hope that you enjoy it so much you come back and re-sign up on your own. Very nice.
Thank you, Steve.
We always appreciate that for sure. All right, so Haunted Mansion. That merch also changes a lot, and they do it best. I just think, you know, they play off everything too. Who would think, let's make shirts with the wallpaper
Right.
in the building, in the house. You know, they just do so many cool, unique things, and the theming is always great with all of their merch. So that definitely for me is number 1. And if you are watching the podcast, just last night I took 3 pictures of things on display there, and here is one of them. And this is one theming they've got going on with the multicolors, the blue and the green and the yellow. Went with the Foolish Mortal theme. And Mr. Lawrence, there is another Haunted Mansion. There's a Loungefly there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Here's the suit jacket. That's been there for a bit. And for anybody that doesn't know, that suit jacket is actually stretchy material. It's like workout material. surprising.
Do you-
Up
what
top
is
on that
it on
top
the
shelf.
bottom?
What's that?
Underneath the suit jacket. Do you know what that is?
I should know what that is, and I don't know from here.
It
Huh.
it almost looks like a wig in the picture. I don't know if that's what that is.
I know what you mean. Like they smashed a Madame Leota. I think so.
Yeah,
Because
maybe
I think Madame Leota is her picture is in the top right-hand corner.
okay. Huh.
See, now we have to look at that when we're there next time.
Yeah. So do I have to
Uh,
wear the wig with the suit jacket? Does that complete the look?
hey, could be the next Mickey not so scary Halloween
Yeah.
party type of stuff.
There you go.
I wonder if that candle and that clock are for sale. I'm gonna say
I'm gonna say
no,
no.
because I really don't see any Haunted Mansion molded onto that.
Yeah.
And then this one here. See, this is a whole different theme on a different wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Different. I mean, you're looking at 2 lounge flies there, 2 different lounge flies. This is when they went with the purples and the light blues for the merch. So, and here you have the wallpaper again on the right-hand side with the wallpaper. And that's a really unique bag in the bottom right-hand corner. Like
Yeah.
your strap is chain.
Very different.
So this is why they do it best. And in this corner, they have some of the most amazing stuff. I think eventually I'm just going to have to splurge and get that $125 item right there because it's the singing busts.
Yeah.
And they sing the entire song, which is so cool. And what I think is a brand new item right there is that $75 item of the ghosts riding.
Yeah.
And what that does, what that simulates is at the end of the ride, for anybody that doesn't know, at the end of the ride, you're looking like through mirrors, and that's you riding in the Doom buggy with your partner. And there's always a ghost riding with you on top. And they do different things, like they'll make your head disappear or other things like that. So they have a light up board chess set right now for sale over there. I think that's about $45 or something. So that's why I think Haunted Mansion does it best. We would love for you all to comment after the stream and let us know what you think as far as how you rank them or what you think is best and why. Some misses here also. I think Pirates has a gift shop that you can walk through, but I think they dropped the ball on their merch. There's such great potential to be better, and I've never bought anything there. Like I want to, but I just don't think the kids. That's a really big example where the kids merch t-shirts are really great, and the adults are not so much. So I think they really could do a much better job with overhauling what they got going on in there. They mix some Coco in there, little Jungle Cruise. I mean, I'm fine with that. It's in the area. Jungle Cruise actually, they did really well with Jungle Cruise merch last year. Probably should have bought some, but they've done a pretty good job with some t-shirts. With that, they stick Indiana Jones stuff in there. And it's kind of like the Pirates merch they come up with slogans and this and that. Really doesn't have anything directly to do with the ride. I feel like it's more about just general pirate merch. Like if you went to a bazaar or a flea market and they were selling Pirates t-shirts, you know?
Yeah. I think as
They
a
could
kid,
do-
I had a sword, you know.
Yeah, there's the plastic swords and things. I just think they could go more hard, straight theming of that attraction. I mean, you don't really see. They have some cool Mickey pirate stuff, which is great for kids. You don't see any like Jack Sparrow stuff, or you know, they've done a couple things in the past with like Red, where Red has had like a lounge fly, and you can buy her dress. That's cool. That's the stuff I'm talking about. I think they should really hone in on that and really do better with that. Steve Bullock says, Corey, if you see the Walt Disney World 2024 calendar, please let me know. It shows sold out online and Tony wants it. All right. We've been looking at 2024 calendars. They've been plentiful in the parks, and I'm guessing that they still are. Donald Duck colored Hokas are a solid merchandise, in my opinion. Says they should sell Hokas in the park. Theme them.
Theme them.
Disney needs to theme up with a sneaker company and theme out a bunch of different rides. That would be cool. Do you want them to sell a stuffed life-size pirate? It's for the kids, says Neil. I think Neil's overtired. So I had some others here that I wanted to comment on. Here's one that I wish, don't know where we would put it, but we need Soarin' merch. Now, I've seen it only in the, you ready? You want to know where I've seen Soarin' merch? I've seen it in the Figment gift shop. How
Doesn't
random
belong
is
there.
that?
Doesn't belong there.
Oh, that's right. They did it with Vans. Disney teamed up with Vans, but Vans are horrible. Vans are horrible. There's no support. There's no cushion. I mean, it's great for the kids. And it didn't sell well. That stuff was on sale for like 70% off in the stores, in the parks. So, where was I? So, Soarin'. We need more Soarin' merch. I love Soarin'. It's a very popular ride. And where they'd put it, I don't know. But we need Soarin' merch. So I think Disney's dropping the ball there. Hello, Lily's Life. So good to see you. And am I pushing it too far to say we need land merch? The land merch.
That might be a stretch, but hey, you never know. You never know.
I mean, it deserves a t-shirt and a pin.
There you go.
You know?
They could sell it.
Maybe
they sell the little kit. They sell like a growing kit or something like that. So they could just do a t-shirt and a pin right there.
Sell some seeds.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Maybe a caricature drawing or something. Maybe Donald Duck grabbing a banana, stretching out of the boat. I got a banana from the land. So, let's see what else. Okay. Let me finish up with this piece here, and then I'm gonna go in another direction. The Pooh shop. I think Pooh is fine. There's really nothing for adults in the Pooh shop. It's all plushies, and it caters to the younger kids. I think that's fine the way it is. I think that's okay. But there are adults that love Pooh so much, that maybe a few adult T-shirts might be cool or something like that. I think it may have seen a Loungefly in there. So I think they do okay. Veggie, fruit.
They should have a retro section in Creations.
Yes.
Horizon.
How about that?
Veggie, fruit. Yep.
That
Disney, if you're listening, we want our cut when you open that section. Just saying.
That would be amazing, Diz. That would be really cool. And let's see. Okay, the last one in the section of are we pushing it too much? Are we pushing it to ask for a kiosk for Country Bears and Big Thunder?
No. Not at all. I think they need something. I think Big Thunder would be a huge seller.
Yes.
And now that they're going to refurb Country Bears, now is the perfect time.
Now is the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's the last one. This is a real head scratcher for a lot of people. Anne says yes on both counts, Corey. Here's the real head scratcher, and this is where we're going to end this section of the podcast with, and it's this. Muppets. Why do we not have this Muppet store back? It's crazy. Muppets are huge. You do not get to exit Muppets 3D through the gift shop, but it stares you dead in the face. It's so coolly themed, and if that's not a word, I need Allison to add that to the dictionary. Coolly. So cool outside. There's paint dripped everywhere. You've got larger than life Muppets.
Yeah.
And when you go inside, there is a whole balcony section up there with a whole story to be told by the cast members, which they've told me before. And they've even told me that there is logic to why Miss Piggy's dressing room is over here, and like Animal or Gonzo, or maybe I think it was Animal, why his was on the other side. You know, it's because he used to get out at night and knock on her door for no reason. Like, there's this whole story that a cast member told me one time. And when you go inside, it's all wood. It looks really raw. It looks like a sound stage
Right.
in there.
Yeah.
So there you go, with some really great extreme theming. And there was a time where they just had, that store was full of Muppets merch. They just came out with the whole Kermit collection. I mean, they could do a Kermit section. They could later do a Miss Piggy section.
Yeah.
I don't know. It almost makes me cry on my knees. Like, Disney, why are we not feeding the Muppets more? I mean, even down to the movies. Disney, I think, I don't know what you all think. You can also comment on this in the chat as well as after the podcast. Like, Disney buys the rights to Muppets. Why aren't we doing more with the Muppets? Like, I think Muppets 3D needs an overhaul. I think that they've done a phenomenal job with the movies. What do you think? I think Jim Henson would be super proud of the job they've done with the 2 live action movies they've done.
I actually have no basis to speak on them. I have not seen them. I have not seen them. I don't know. It's just Kermit's
Life
my
gets in the
favorite,
way.
and that might be why I don't want to see the new ones. Like, I'll throw on the Muppet movie or Muppets Take Manhattan, and I'll watch that. In fact, I think it's probably time for Finley to watch those with me. Here's an odd one that Kermit was in that I wonder if you saw. I don't think you would have, because the timeline wouldn't have been right. Follow That Bird.
Oh, wow. I've never seen Follow That Bird, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Poster art was Big Bird in the front walking, and I think there were other characters beside him.
Yeah.
That
it would have
is
been late 80s, maybe right at 88, 89, 90, something like that. And so this was before Elmo, really. But Kermit was in it because he was part of Sesame Street.
yes. See, that's my visual mind at work.
Yeah.
I pictured that. Right? I pulled that right out of nowhere. People can fact check me on that. My mom is in the chat. Hello, Mom. Mom loves when I do the Grinch. Well, hello, Mom. How you doing? Thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh.
Came all the way from Mount Crumpet tonight to do this podcast.
Did she just call you up on a random day in like June and just say, do the Grinch?
Yes. She also makes me walk sideways like a Super Mario Brothers crab. So I probably do that really well. And she likes me to do that on a FaceTime. Corey, your mom's in chat. Grinch, please, says Allison. Allison is very happy today because she received her puffy coat from Hollywood Studios because she won the LID Shop With Us $100 giveaway, which we are doing again when we reach the milestone of 13,250 subscribers. So if you have not subscribed and you want a chance at that, as we want to thank all of you for being subscribed and being dedicated, definitely do that. And the faster we get there, the faster we give it away.
Yeah.
That was a fine choice.
Yeah, that was.
And yeah. So that's it. If you're good there, we can jump over to Inside the Parks.
Sounds good.
And we'll put a bow on this baby because this is the first night. We're already late for our LID Club members, the very first LID Club members bonus podcast. This is a podcast that if you are an LID Club member, when we end this, we're going to do a bonus podcast. Who knows, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it is. Probably shoot for about 30.
Okay.
And have a little fun over there with all of you. And just to make it a little bit more, I don't want to say interesting, but a little more interactive, we're going to interact with you all even more in chat. It'll be more laid back, you know, so a little bit different from this one. and we hope you'll like it. So we'll fire that one up as soon as we're done here. All LID Club members should get the notification.
Yeah.
We haven't done this before, so hopefully that works that way. It's supposed to. So if we see nobody there, then we know it didn't work, and we'll see you next week.
I got my notification.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
Catherine wants
Am
to
I
know if she's
invited?
invited.
Well, isn't she an LID Club member?
She is.
She can just come in. She can just come in and hang out with you. It's a lot more casual.
There you go.
Yeah. Let's go inside the parks. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about, but we'll see. Inside the Parks is brought to you by Neil's Wookie Cookies. If you're looking for a dry, tasteless treat in Hollywood studios, go for the Wookie Cookie.
Oh,
Chewie agrees.
I really hope Neil is still watching.
That was just spur of the moment. Listen, I've never been a stand-up comedian, but I think I could write an 8-minute spot. And I just feel like when you have a good joke, you ride it.
Mm-hmm.
A great joke should always be brought up whenever you have the opportunities.
Exactly.
And that's one of them.
Exactly.
The
Similar
Wookie
to that joke.
Yes. By the way, everybody, if you haven't seen the awful sewn jacket that, well, you know, maybe I brought the ugly sweater that night to Jollywood. You just figured, well, why don't I bring the ugly suit jacket? And that's what you did.
That's
and we were matchy. So, well, that if anybody hasn't seen the vlog that we did of Jollywood, go back and watch that. We definitely point out every single time we made a comment about Lawrence's jacket, and I want to thank Lawrence for being such a great sport. It was I saw the opportunity, and I'm like, we got to play this up. We did it for the stream. We did it for the channel. Took one for the team. Took one for the stream.
Yes, that was that was the actual fabric. That picture.
Yes, it was. So that background is the actual photo of that fabric and how badly sewn together it was. Has Catherine, if I know Catherine, well, no, she can't take it apart. I bet she was tempted to come home and break that baby apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what?
She's probably thinking, how could I fix this?
You know what you should do? This has to be done now.
Okay.
You need to go online and you need to get one of those plastic cases like you would see at the Hard Rock Cafe, where they'd put like one of Elton John's suit jackets in the case and put it on the wall. You have got to put it on that wall right there behind you near the door. I want to see that up there in the case with a nameplate on the bottom. Lawrence's suit jacket from Jollywood 2023. That's what I want to see. You know, just for fun, I have talked about that with the kids. I'm like, we should go back just for fun and maybe reserve a wall in our entertainment area and just kind of make a Living in Diz Hall of Fame. I love those ideas.
Yeah.
When the kids were young, Jillian actually wore a Tom Brady jersey onesie. And then we passed it on to Jacob. And after that, I decided to have it framed and dated on the bottom. And it says this jersey worn by Jillian 2006 and Jacob 2008.
Hey.
And it's in like what do they call those boxes? Shadow boxes.
Shadow box, yeah.
But we could do some cool things. We could be like, this is the first gimbal we ever used. This is the little hat, Jessie hat that Jill wore in the very first vlog. Like, talking myself into doing that. I think that would be a really cool wall for the family to do.
We each can retire our first shirts that we wore on the podcast. That'll be part of the wall. Yeah,
that's it. I'm planning this. I'm doing a wall.
I like it.
I'm doing a wall. We have 5.5 years worth of stuff. Does anybody in chat think that that's silly or crazy or a good idea? I think it would just be fun. We have some things. We can look back at maybe events during the 5 years and pull some items. Put them on the wall. I'm doing it.
I like it.
So, yeah, it'd be pretty cool. So inside the parks, Saturday we were at Hollywood Studios. I had Jacob try I was really excited to have him try the waffle cone bowls over at Fairfax Fair. So if
Yeah.
anyone didn't see it, it's a cone like you would put ice cream in. And they have 3, could be 4, but I'm thinking it's 3 different treats. And they smash in mashed potatoes, and then they put different toppings on top of it. So you get the savory and the sweet. Those were really good. Something happened there. So I had a last couple of streams, I've got some gifts on the mouse, which is always nice. So I was just feeling like stingy when we ordered lunch, because just for getting what we got, I just didn't feel like dropping almost $50 in that one stop, because I knew we were off to get treats as well and all that. So when I saw the total, when we each got a bowl that we wanted to try, and added a $10.50 mac and cheese bowl that is, way overpriced, I changed my mind and I said to the cashier, "Can we let's just take the mac and cheese off the order, and I'll just take the bowls." So she did. But the order already went back to the kitchen. So when I went to pick up the tray, the mac and cheese was there accompanying the 2 bowls. So I said to the cast member, I was like, "Oh, I didn't pay for that. I didn't want to take it if I didn't pay for it." And he just misunderstood me. He's like, "Oh, well, just go over there and they can refund you." And I was like, "No, I didn't pay for it." And we went back and forth a few times, and finally he realized. He showed my receipt. He's like, "No, it's on here." And I'm like, "Yeah, but it's not on mine." So he was like, "You know what? Just keep it. It's on the mouse." And I was like, "Cool, I'll eat that for free." And it was decent. It was decent. So love when that happens. You recall anything else? We just had a wonderful night with Jacob and Jill, and we just moved. We love that. We just moved along, and we we didn't have to make a ton of stops. So really liking condensing. We had a lot of groups with us last. I know I keep saying this, but that's kind of the transition. We just had a lot of groups with us, had a lot of great friends, this and that. But in my perspective, it just slows the stream down, and I can't attend and be attentive to our viewers. And so, we're just pulling it back, and we got to get back more to LIDOG. So we felt like that. We really loved the day. It was really great. And did I miss anything else that night?
Kind of a smooth Saturday. And then you went to Disney Springs.
Oh, so it's funny. I was ready to end the stream at Hollywood Studios. I was happy with what we did, and I thought that was pretty fine. And we really didn't. We know that we're going to Disney Springs for a good size stream in 2 weeks, so we really didn't want to do too much there. So with that said, I was going to end the stream at the parks, and Tammy was like, "Oh, they'll probably want to come along with us." So of course you all did. So you don't have to twist my arm if you all decide you want to. So we went. Unfortunately, I hope you all enjoyed it anyway. I thought we would be in and out of the Hoka store, but Tammy and I had some difficulties there. It was a matter of trying to find the right shoe, but also trying to find the right colors. One thing Hoka does drop the ball on is they don't do well with colors. I don't know who's designing the colors, but they have to do better, because I did find the model that I really, really liked, but I just didn't want to wear that color. So I did leave with some really great inserts for $80, and they are serving my legs and my body very well, even in a pair of old Hokas. So hope you all enjoyed that. You got to see my feet analyzed, and you all got to see that, what happens when I stand. It was totally red on the outside border of both feet, because I wear out shoes. I can't keep spending $150 on Hokas every few months because I wear them out. So the hope is these inserts will keep me good now. So sorry y'all had to see nothing but that, and we ended the stream, but I think we walked around for a short moment. But it is what it is. That was bonus material. So you did some sneaker shopping. Let us know in the comments if you want to go sneaker shopping with us again. There is a poll in the chat. Are you subscribed to Living in Diz? And 95% says yes. So thanks for voting. The other stream was Magic Kingdom last night. Magic Kingdom closed at 10. I tried to close the stream out fairly quickly because it was I was coming off back-to-back nights of just being up super, super late and had to be in the gym super early. And I have to be in the gym super early again tomorrow.
Mm.
And hopefully I'll stay awake for tomorrow's movie. Tomorrow's movie is Wonka.
We're gonna wait till Christmas Day. We're gonna see it on Christmas
Okay.
Day.
Cool. I love the thinking and planning. That's cool. Always do it. As a matter of fact, I will say, so I don't forget about it, I'll just plug coming up. I'm gunning for January 1st, everybody, for us to release a bonus DIZPod. It's going to be weird not doing it with Lawrence, but I mean, I haven't decided. I mean, I don't know. If you want to join us, I have no objections to that. But
I'll be producing it behind the scenes.
okay, that sounds good. Jacob and I are going to, y'all going to see Jacob on a full podcast. It's going to be a DIZPod salute to the movies of 2023, our top 23 movies of 2023. Jacob and I have already put some work into this. We have a scientific formula to pass on to everybody so that you can better judge to go to the movies, because after a year of data, it is proved to us how we can go to the movies with pretty good confidence that at the very worst, we're going to say the movie was decent. I want to hear your review of Wonka. Might see it just before Christmas. Okay. So before Jacob and I record this podcast, we want to make sure we really round out 2023. So Wonka is this week, and there's got to be something next week as well. So we want to make sure we see that. You're smiling. Like, do you know? Do you know what it is?
No, I was thinking it might be Wish because you've been pushing that off, but I think you're holding off for streaming, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Okay.
Although, if there is nothing else to see and it's there, because I don't have anything on my calendar, so that's a good question. But if we're done, then we'll plan a day to record the podcast, and we'll go through that. And I think you'll all enjoy it. And I think that'll become a yearly thing that we do.
Yeah.
For sure. And you're all going to be surprised what number one is. Yeah.
Little teaser.
Yeah. So to round this out here for Inside the Parks last night, some really odd things happened last night. And it was the fact that the wind was blowing in a very particular direction all night. And for that fact, everybody was evacuated from Fantasyland.
Oh, because of the fireworks?
Yeah. So if you looked at the flags on the castle and the turrets, they were blowing pretty hard and very direct down Main Street. So I was scratching my head at first. I'm like, why would they clear everybody out if it's blowing that way? But Neil and Lucas pointed out the fact that, well, it's the fireworks. If anybody doesn't know, fireworks for Magic Kingdom, they go off on top of the castle. They go off from the buildings just behind the castle and across the street, not even in the park. So it was those that would go off and would blow over the Fantasyland crowd. So they didn't want any debris or sparks to fall right there. So it made total sense. So we had to come up with a strategy. We were stuck in Tomorrowland with 15 minutes to get into position. When we learned we couldn't go back to Fantasyland for fireworks to stream, our next thought was we were walking by, there's a nice little nook in Tomorrowland. It's where the Stitch statue is on the wall. It's underneath People Mover. And there's two big stones, but you can peek in between them, which is a good spot now and then because Tinkerbell flies overhead.
Right over you.
But I knew she wouldn't fly last night because of the wind. But we decided to stay there, and I called that a pro move. You know, you couldn't do your typical Main Street. You couldn't do your Fantasyland. And the third place that I would rank that I'd like to do is over in Liberty Square.
Mm-hmm.
And we tried to get over there, and then we like, no, it's not going to work. We're not going to get over there fast enough. And so that all worked out fine. That all worked out fine. And so we were like, we want to get on Haunted Mansion because we've never seen the Hatbox Ghost yet in person. So we went all the way around through Tomorrowland by Snow White and all that. And then boom, dead standstill. There was a whole crowd there roped off, just waiting to be let back into Fantasyland. So you could see them. They were doing a thorough check everywhere to make sure there was no burning debris at this point. And then they let the masses go, and Haunted Mansion quickly went from a 15-minute wait to a 50-minute wait. So at that point, I'm like, you know what? Here's another pro tip, pro move. I'm going to save that till the end of the night, and we'll probably walk on. And that's exactly what we did. We walked on. One last thing I'll mention. I don't know if you all heard me cracking up laughing when we were on Small World, but I was trying to pre-order my cookies for the night because if anybody doesn't know, you can pre-order your like when you go on the My Disney Experience app and you want to order food, you can order even your confectionery items, and you can choose the time you want to pick them up. So I picked after 10 o'clock, and I picked my cookies, and Neil saw me trying to do that and stream Small World, so he was generous to say, let me grab the stream, and he streamed Small World for me while I ordered my cookies. And we come into the final room, the blue and white room, and he's showing the cowboy swinging the lasso because that's been our thing. The lasso is still in full effect. This is amazing. It's the longest run in years. Above him, to the side, technically to his right, is a Native American. I hear Neil say something about the Native American Indian. And I just lost it. I lost it. And then Lucas is looking at me and he's laughing. And Lucas is Neil's son, for anybody that doesn't know, who he and I were riding in the back, and Neil was with his wife, Alyssa, in the front of us. And she looks at me and starts laughing. And she's like, Neil, do you realize what you said? So poor Neil was trying to be very politically correct. And he just combined the both together. Very innocent mistake. Probably something I would have done. But I lost it. I started laughing a little bit, and it just built and built and built. So classic moment right there.
There you go.
Lastly, probably, so I wanted to leave Magic a little earlier than usual because of my late nights and early mornings this week. Excuse me. And so I placed my order, and it was 2 big gingerbread Mickey cookies and 2 peanut butter cookie pies. And so I went, and I'm not used to doing these pre-orders. So the cast member's looking at me, looks at the one bag back there, and he's really confused. And I'm like, why is he confused? So he hands me 2 bags, and I wouldn't even have checked him. And then he's like, oh no, wait a minute, wait. He goes, can I see your order online? And so I looked at the email, and I'm like, yeah, it's 2 gingerbread cookies and 2 peanut butter cookie pies. And he's like, oh, hold on. So then I look at the bags, and I got the cookie pies, but they gave me 2 chocolate chip big Mickey cookies. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's wrong. And then I was thinking, maybe he'll just let me keep the big cookies because he handed them to me already. So I walked out of there with 6 cookies. I got the gingerbread ones, the peanut butter cookie pies, and he gave me the other 2. So lucky week with Disney food.
Sometimes you luck out like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool when that happens. So, gosh, the time has flown.
Yeah. How about that?
Great podcast, my friend. I think it's time
Always.
to head out of here.
Yes.
Anything else?
We have another one to do.
We do. I think we've gotten ourselves into deep doo-doo this time.
That's all right.
That's a Star Wars quote.
That's right.
So,
no, it's always good to hang out with the LID family. anytime we can do that. Love doing that every Thursday or at least once a week.
Yes, for sure. Thank you all for joining us live. Thank you so much for joining us anytime on the rewatch or the re-listen. You can also check us out on the YouTube Music app or even watch us there. They have a cool little button where you can listen. And then if there's something you want to see, you just slide the button over and you can see what's going on, because sometimes it's a visual podcast.
Yes.
The one thing I didn't get to is, I'll just click on them quick. How about that? Got a chance to take a look at the merchandise for 2024, and it's ugly. Let us know what you think in the comments. I mean, they went with a total 90s theme here with the light blues and the pinks and the yellows and the greens. I don't know. Could you wear that button-down shirt on a... I would wear anything on a DIZPod, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say that the button downs can, you can be a little louder there.
Now, the more I look at it, like the button down's so ugly, I like it. I like it. But you know what? That's kind of one, I'd wear it if somebody bought it for me, if it was a gift, but I wouldn't buy it. But if it ends up at the character warehouse, I'll be all over it. The Loungefly is actually decent, but very, very plain. There's no character to that Loungefly. It's a basic Loungefly. And you've got, I don't even know what that is. Is that a scarf? And a fanny pack? Yeah? Is it a scarf?
No, it's probably a beach towel. Looks big enough.
There are the ears representing all the parks. The water bottle. The water bottle's not bad. It's not bad, but not great. And here's the sweatshirt, which is not even a Spirit jersey. Not good, in my opinion. Let us know in the comments. What do you think? Would you buy any of this 2024 merch? Disney's all in. There's no changing it. This is it. Matter of fact, Disney has failed on seasonal merch or yearly merch, I think. Even last year wasn't great, but it was better than this one. So there you have it. Want to thank Susie Q and Ruben G for sending us out another big box of Trader Joe's seasonal merch. We got a bunch of chocolate peppermint stuff we can't wait to dive into. And we really appreciate that. If anyone else wants to send any cards, Christmas cards, letters of thanks, whatever you want to do, we do have a P.O. box down below. And we really appreciate any of that for sure. Also received this from Ann Gilnack. It's so soft. It's a Boston Red Sox throw blanket. And I will definitely enjoy using that. Tammy loves her blankets on the couch. Even though we live in Florida, there's air conditioning. So there you go. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today at the podcast. We always go longer than we want, but I'm sure you all don't mind. And if you do, turn it off and come back. You can always listen a little bit more. I do that with podcasts sometimes. I listen in chunks. When I have time, I listen. When I know it's there, when I have time again. So we'll be back again next week. Programming change. We will be live recording this Wednesdays because on Thursdays we're at the Christmas party. So for the DIZPod, I'm Corey.
And I'm Lawrence.
That's the DIZPod, everybody. Have a wonderful week.